Welcome to day 181 of TFIF 365. And today I just want to read you something that I wrote on, it is dated August 15th, 2012 at 5:13 a.m. So I'm reading you this because I just happened to scroll back through my notes app because I was looking for something specific and I couldn't remember the search terms that would help me. So I just went back from the beginning and I ran across this note. And it is just an example of how I've been thinking supremacy, coercion, discrimination, and exploitation free for some time now without having those words, without having developed the profit without oppression theory. This is pre all of that. But this goes to show me, that was 12 years ago, how aligned my work is to who I've always been. So the title of this is Politics slash Religion equals Bondage, question mark. So I'll just read what I wrote. Those who chart their own course through their ideas, risk-taking efforts, usually thrive no matter the political landscape. They appear to cultivate a true sense of independence and flexibility. Those who turn to politicians, find themselves and their lives deeply intertwined and at the mercy of the public policies discourse of those who they, as a populace, have elected. By its very nature, the masses see their very existence either enhanced or threatened by the policies put in place by the ruling party that they are in favor of or not. They see the power to manage their own joy, prosperity, freedom outside of themselves, which necessitates and feeds an us against them mentality if one wants to ensure that their own self-interests are met. History is filled with examples of people who, when times are challenging, turn it to ideals that cause them to seek, demand the assistance of others, making their situation the responsibility of everyone else's, or step outside of themselves in an effort to preserve their own sense of dignity. While those who seek to manage their own levels of joy, prosperity, freedom, etc., find ways to adjust to whatever the prevailing climate is and thrive often at the amusement and displeasure of the masses, furthering their cries of foul and their demands to be the responsibility of others. So there's a lot there, and I'm going to leave that to you for you to interpret any way you want. But given the global climate that I see, I thought it was, I'll use this word, apropos, to address this or to read this to you, because it's not anything that I'm going to address with you. These are my thoughts, and they've only been proven out since then. And what I would say to you, for those of you who, like myself, seek to live from a supremacy-free, coercion-free, discrimination-free, and exploitation-free perspective, is to find ways of practicing how to sustain and maintain your joy, your sense of peace, your sense of liberty and freedom in opposition to what the current systems, institutions, and policies are designed to do, which is privilege the few at the expense of the many. That is what I didn't understand at the time. I knew something was wonky, but I didn't realize that how intentional the efforts have been to exclude, and to make it seem as if the exclusion wasn't intentional. And so as I look at the political landscape across the globe in many different places, I see the same thing. I see people those few who benefit unfairly from systems, institutions, and policies designed to privilege them at the expense of the many, scared as fuck and are doing everything they can to hold on to their unearned privilege because they know if they really, even if they know they've done nothing to get where they are, or very little. They've talked to family, friends who've opened doors. They've people in their lives have spread money around to allow them to be in positions and be in places and be in people's ears that other folks have no leverage and ability to do that work or to be in those spaces or to be in those ears. And so as you see what's happening in the world, what I can say to you is it's not about ignoring it, because I always will prioritize the most vulnerable and seek to minimize harm. And yet what I find in most politics and politicians is theater. It is not rooted in anything that can do anything other than negatively impact my life. Very little consistently can be addressed that will make my life better, that I don't actively have to still hold my nose at, right? Still say, okay, I can take 70% of this, but the other 30 is hard. It's the same calculation. So saying all this is I know that some of you find the world right now scary, but we've been here before. That should also give you, we've been here before. And each time we get closer and closer to that equitable space that we want to exist in, each time we get closer and closer to supremacy-free, coercion-free, discrimination-free, and exploitation-free. And yet I want to remind you, if you're looking for politicians or politics to quote unquote save us, it's not going to happen. If you're looking towards that for peace of mind, for sustained joy, it's not going to happen. Those people are there to do jobs that facilitate the running of the government. They should not be considered your saviors. So until tomorrow, peace.